Yeah, my name is Thomas Reagan. I'm a professional property investor here in Australia. Now, a lot of people cringe. They absolutely cringe when you talk about or when investing in high rises are mentioned. Most novice investors just see investing in high rises, and even people that are seasoned investors cringe when it comes to investing in high rise apartments. But I guess investing in high-rise apartments, unless you know, right? Like when it comes to investing, you shouldn't be investing with fundamental principles, okay? So one of those principles? One of those principles are invest where there's scarcity. Well, it kind of doesn't work here, but I guess it would. I'll explain that. But invest if you're purchasing below replacement cost, that is considered a good investment. What do I mean by purchasing below replacement cost? Okay, so if a new apartment is selling for 550,000, for example, and you're able to buy one that is the same but 10 years older for the price for maybe around 270,000, that is buying below replacement cost. What do you have to do to figure out replacement cost? Is you need to figure out what the value of the land is, and you need to plus it by or add the cost to build the apartment or the cost to build whatever the building it is. Now that might be anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000, maybe more in cost to build the apartment. So you plus those, you times it by, sorry, when I say 2 to 5,000, I mean per square meter to build. So whatever that is, you plus the land value plus the apartment cost together, and that's how you get to ultimately what the replacement cost is, because you cannot replacing it, you need to pay for the land component, then you need to pay for the building component. Those two numbers together, that equals replacement cost. Now, if you're, as again, just to hammer it in, buying below replacement cost is a good investment, because it means no one can build something. You cannot, nothing can be built or to sell any new product. The price to sell the new product is going to be substantially more than the product you own. Therefore, the product you own the price is getting pulled up. Okay, that's how that works. Now, the scarcity factor is in Australia right now and all over the world, building costs have gone through the roof. So it's in terms of development, it's put a lot of developments on hold. It's made a lot of development stop, because obviously developers are not going to develop unless it makes sense financially to do so. So it doesn't make sense financially to do so now. Another thing with we're talking about Melbourne CBD high-rises apartment investing, by the way. So I didn't say that at the start, but another thing with that is there's been a huge oversupply of apartments in Melbourne CBD for the last, I think it's about 25 years, okay? And effectively what that's done is the price is created the prices to flatline for that amount of time. It's been oversupply combined with flat market equals flatlining on prices. Say the thing with that is prices cannot always be suppressed. Like as I said, you're buying it below replacement cost, the prices are suppressed. This is a recipe for huge capital growth. Now, what is also the upside? And I mean, people also think, oh gee, there's 100 apartments in the city, there's another big tower next door. Why are people going to rent this? They're not going to rent this. There's too much oversupply, blah, 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 blah. Yes, there are huge apartments next to each other everywhere in the city, but it's enough to support the actual demand in the marketplace. Okay, so you got to be aware, you got to understand how how marketplaces work, yeah, there's a lot of, it doesn't matter how much supply there is, if it's meeting demands or if it's undersupplied, that pushes up prices, okay? And I'm talking about the rental market now. So what I'm talking about is people get fearful of having a rental property, an investment property in an area where there's other potential investment properties that are so similar, but what they don't understand, what they fail to understand is it meeting demands? Because if it is, then there's no problem there, okay? There's no issue currently in Victoria. There was previously over the last 25 years, as I said, where there was oversupply. Potentially it was hard to rent it out, but now there is not. Rental prices are going up. It's a good place to invest. It's got a huge capital growth potential, and I'm investing heavily in there at the moment. Now, I've got a few other examples. Gold Coast, Surfers Paradise in Queensland. There is a lot of holiday style high rises in the Gold Coast, Queensland, Surfers Paradise. These properties, as I said, they're high rises, and I haven't got the full history on it of how long the slump went for, how long the oversupply lasted, but they have gone through their boom cycle now, and the properties have gone from their base of around 200,000 to today they're worth about 400, 500, 600,000. They're apartments, they're high rises. They do go up as well. The hard reality is, the hard truth is, apartments, they probably, high-rise apartments I'm speaking about now, maybe their annual growth rate could be as low as 3%, which is absolutely terrible, by the way. But you can still make a lot of money in them if you know how to invest at the right time. Like, yes, over a long period of time, like 30 years, the annual growth rate might be 3%, which is absolutely terrible and it would turn anyone off. But if you invest in them at the right time, they might go through a cycle where they're increasing by about 30% per year for 3 years or so. And if you put in X amount of money, if you put in whatever amount of money you put in, 100 grand or 200 grand to buy a property, that's 500,000 to $1 million. You might be buying multiple properties with that amount of money, and those properties double. You say you buy $1 million worth of apartments, you're buying multiple apartments, and those apartments go to $2 million, and you only used $100,000 or $200,000 to buy them.